Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday night MNSpiritCast. It is not Wednesday night; it is Tuesday night, but we have a very special show for you guys. So I hope you guys are excited for tonight. We got a great guest with us tonight, and his name is Jason Kenzie. And let's go ahead and tell you a little bit about Jason. Jason Kenzie is an adventurer, photojournalist, and internationally recognized and critically acclaimed filmmaker. Born and raised in beautiful BC, Canada, Jason has spent many years exploring the natural beauty of North America. Jason has produced over 300 videos documenting the friendship bonds between humans and animals for over 25 years. Jason has been sought after for his exceptional skills with diverse animals and his ability to capture them in their most unique moments. Jason's occasional exploration into the world of Bigfoot began in earnest during the COVID-19 travel prohibitions. Excuse me. In addition to investigating eyewitness accounts about the elusive cryptid, Jason journeyed into the Canadian and American wilderness, searching for evidence that might help unwrap this iconic mythical mystery. Jason has produced 4 chapters in his latest series called Searching for Sasquatch. These chapters explore a mountain crossing containing hundreds of large footprints, first-degree sightings, and paranormal encounters and documented findings from a large-scale expedition in the forests of northern Michigan. Jason has authored 3 children's books called Adventures of Little JJ. The books follow a 6-year-old boy who uses his imagination to travel the world meeting new animal friends. The latest book, Rescue to Cryptid Island, features Little JJ helping a little female Bigfoot find her way back to her parents and help of a little ghost, the Loch Ness Monster, and Moth Boy. So, without further ado, let's get this show started. Everybody, please welcome our original co-host. Here is Brandon. How's it going, Brandon?
Going all right. How about you?
Not too bad. Good to see you, and I'm excited for the show. Hope you're just as excited as I am. Let's go ahead and bring on our hunters and then our amazing guests tonight. Here's our medium, Rochelle, lead investigator, Nicole, assistant manager and investigator, Cara, Mr. Matt Barron, and Jason Kenzie himself. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey, guys.
How we doing, everybody?
Not too bad. And Jason, thanks for coming on with us. It's very much appreciated. It's going to be a great show, and we're going to briefly talk about some stuff considering you're on the time frame tonight. But part 2 is definitely going to be a thing. So we're definitely gonna love to have you back. So, Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about your work and what you've been dealing with for, the past multiple years?
Well, for the last 25 years, I have basically traveled the world, meeting people and interviewing people who live with the most amazing pets. Everything from like tigers and bears and wolves and cougars and just kangaroos, huge alligators,
Wow.
monkeys, you name it, and everything in between. So I, I find these people and sometimes they find me and I go and I meet up with them and I film and interview them and just hear their love that they have for their pets.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a motto, which is if I'm going to interview you and your pet, I have to be able to hug the pet.
Yes,
No cages, right? But,
absolutely.
that
Yep.
it goes good, except for maybe the alligators. Alligators, they don't like to be hugged at all.
Darn it.
They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all there.
Hey, how's it going, Brandon from the Funhouse? Thanks for being on tonight. So Jason is absolutely exciting. With all of that you do, like adventure wise, paranormal wise, everything. Now in the cryptic world, right now, and actually you are on the search for Bigfoot. How's that going so far?
Well, it's going good so far. I mean, it's going into the forest and going into the mountains and interviewing the eyewitnesses who say that they've had, their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way I work is I interview the person, I find out what location that they've had their experience, and then I go there to that place and I look around and I hike in and I spend the night, sometimes alone, because it's hard to find camera people that don't want to run away as soon as they're trapped in the forest. I'm like, guys, come back! It was a raccoon. It's a chipmunk. Like, sometimes I make a mistake. I'm like, oh, what do you know? It was a grizzly. We're not showing you. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. I like doing it, and I've had some amazing experiences. I've seen the trees, 20-foot tall trees, which are ripped out of the ground, turned upside down,
Mm-hmm.
jammed into the ground. I've seen the deer, which are ripped apart and hanging
Wow.
from limbs. I've seen the eye shine. I just got back from Texas, and I've never heard so many howls and screams and just craziness, like screams that would go on for like a couple hours, just
Wow.
non-stop. It would be like you'd hear the howl, and being an animal expert, I know the sounds from the coyotes to the other sound that I can't identify. So you
Right.
hear the howl, and then you hear the coyotes go nuts, and then they would calm down, and then you'd hear it from this side and then over here, and then it was just nuts, just constantly. And some of them would be like deep, like they would be like really deep and kind of scary too, right? They not just,
Yeah.
more, sometimes it's and then we captured grunts, like actual like grunts that sound like gorillas. And at
Wow.
one point, and this is in chapter 5 that I'm working on right now, that launches this summer. I went with Todd Parsons, and he has a group out there, a Bigfoot group, and so they flew me in and hired me to photograph and to film and make chapter 6 with them. And at one point went to a graveyard and we're there for about 20 minutes howling and doing the word knock, and just they all have like military grade FLIRs. And then at one point there was a big a gate similar to would hold back deer, and there was a big sign saying "Do not enter, you would be shot." Of course, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go on the other side. So I went on the other side, and right away I heard something walking in the forest, and I'm like, guys, listen, there's something. and I had infrared on my video camera, and I went trekking into the forest about 15, 20 feet just so I can get the audio. Meanwhile, everybody comes running and they have the flare, and they could see something that's white, hot, that was on the ground. And, we're thinking, well, maybe it's a bunny, or maybe it could be a possum, because we knew they were around. I'm in the forest about 20 feet in front of them with my camera looking. And I'm not thinking whatever it is, I would capture it on film. I was thinking just the audio, and you could hear it walking. Well, sure enough, they captured it. It stood up, stood straight up, and it was just standing there looking at us, like on the floor. And so they sent me the picture that they took from the video, and it blew me away because I could hear it walking, and I knew it wasn't a deer or a bear because you could tell the walking. Right, it wasn't 4 paws; it was something walking. It was heavy, and that was really good. Now, I'm not saying it was a Sasquatch, right? But I did about 3 weeks later go into the forest another time and stood in an area with a flare to see what I would look like in the flare, and you could see the clothes that I was wearing. But in the shot that they caught, whatever it was had no clothes on.
Really?
So, yeah. So either it was some deranged psychopath that was naked looking at us, right? I kind of wish that I could have walked to that area and stood side by side to see what it could be, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was a really good night. It was a really good night.
It sounds like it. That's absolutely awesome. I was looking at your website, which, by the way, you have some awesome stuff on there. But I did see that, and I believe I wrote it down, but you have saw gigantic footprints before when you were exploring. So do you think maybe that was a sign of Bigfoot or
no, because I didn't physically see what made the footprints.
Right.
I have seen the actual footprints in the mud, just one, and that was at one time. In my first documentary, Searching for Sasquatch, Chapter 1, at the crossing, I did hike up into the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest, and came across a lake in the middle of the wilderness that had hundreds of these giant, like, footprints. There were at least, I didn't have a measuring tape, but they were definitely bigger than my feet. And they were bare feet, like they weren't shoe footprints, they were actually,
right.
And I took my drone and I flew it above and I filmed because I wanted to see what it would look like. And you could see it go right across the lake.
Oh, wow.
And so I took the footage to First Nations people that lived in the area, and they told me I had found the actual migration path of the Sasquatch. And when I did my research and looked on a map of where I found the footprints compared to other people that's found or had sightings, you could see it was the complete stream of mountains that come right down the coast all the way to California.
Right.
So it's not far-fetched that whatever made the footprints was migrating, down to where it was warmer.
Wow.
Right? So, but because I didn't physically see what made the footprints, I can't just sit here and say that it was Bigfoot 100%.
Makes sense.
Right.
Right? It could have been that deranged lunatic following me, naked and just stepping all over the place.
Brandon, do you have an alibi?
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. I was gonna say, I live in Minnesota, and if I had to live outside year round, there's no way I would stay in Minnesota. I would migrate south as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Exactly.
Yeah, they got the right idea.
But yeah, this is great. The best thing about searching for Sasquatch is the friends that I've met along the way. That is one of the best thing about going after, these creatures, right? You meet other people that are interested in it, and we go hiking and camping anyway, and who knows?
I mean, Carlos has a point, Jason. It could be Matt. The guy beside you could have been Matt.
I noticed he just left really quick.
Yeah. He just
He's like,
faded
damn it,
in.
they're on to me.
I'll be back.
So, question: do you ever take impressions of the things you find?
Well, the fact is I didn't really have the stuff with me
You were hiding.
because at the time I didn't really know if I was going to come across anything. I was almost kind of joking and kind of not taking it too seriously when I went out the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I had no idea I would come across so many of these footprints that were actually in the lake. And so that just tells me that whatever made these footprints made the footprints when the lake was quite dry, where it was still muddy. And some people say it was a moose, but I don't know if you've ever seen moose when they walk through mud. They don't tiptoe. They rip it up
Right.
completely. They're just, and these were actually, they weren't ripped up, and they've been there for a while. At least this is what the First Nations people have told me.
Wow.
So I've been working on chapter 5, and in chapter 2, in the middle of talking, we had a tree that was either fell over or was pushed down right next to us, and so that was interesting. When I
Wow.
went to Michigan, I was with another researcher, a Bigfoot researcher. We're in the middle of the forest, and there was we could see 2 sets of eye shine looking at us at the end of the trail, and they just stood there and just watched us for about 8 minutes while
Wow.
we were watching it. And I had my video camera trying to capture it, but for some reason they stood just outside of the beam of light from the infrared, because we could kind of see it, but my infrared couldn't. And while I'm talking on camera, you could see eye shine all around us, just watching us.
Wow.
And then at one point, I pretended to take a step forward and turned around and saw this shadow creature throw itself to the ground, drop to the ground, and then crawl across like a giant spider. With the eye shine, the eyes were looking at me the whole time as it went across and into the forest. And I'm looking at it going, what is that? What the? I'm thinking, is it a cougar? Because I know cougars will bend down and they'll watch you as they walk. But it was huge, and there was no, when the head went across, there was no bobbing. It actually went straight. And so here I'm thinking, well, maybe it was my eyes playing tricks. When like 2 months later, when I'm looking through all my footage, as I'm walking to the area and I'm talking on camera, I see the 2 set of I see an eye shine right behind my head, like literally 5 feet in the forest, just looking at me,
Wow.
looking at both of us because we were walking, and that was trippy. And like I said, I'm not saying it was Bigfoot, but it was pretty creepy what I saw.
Sounds like it.
And I wish I had my camera facing the other direction, because I was actually talking into the camera when I turned around. And then I saw it drop, and I think there was a second one too that took a step into the forest, and then the other one dropped to the ground. But yeah, it looked like a giant spider as it went right across, and it was dark, very dark. So that was trippy.
You got me at spider. Woo.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
I don't do spiders.
I have arachnophobia, so I was like, wow. And for like a couple weeks after that, all I saw when I closed my eyes was the 2 eyes staring at me as it went across and into the forest.
And when you're in a situation like that, what are your thoughts? Because you were out there alone, right?
Yeah. My thought is try not to poop my pants. That is the thought going through my, don't crap yourself, because I'm afraid these Sasquatches might get kind of jealous. They'd be like, he smells worse than we do.
Assert your dominant.
But
Mark your territory.
I didn't feel as if I was in danger, because I had just, this researcher and we had just finished looking at these two eye shines that were staring at us for like 8 minutes. And I'm thinking, if they wanted to kill us, they would have just done it. You know, there's no reason to run, because
Right.
if they're going to kill you, they're going to kill you no matter what. They'll walk up, you know, pop your head off, and that's it, right?
Yep.
So there's no point. And I tell my camera people that, but they still want to run. They still want to run. They think that by, you know, being by themselves in the middle of the forest at night is going to be safer than with, you know, a group of us or two of us.
Yep.
You know, at least if there's two of us, there's a 50-50 chance they're going to go after them. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you might be able
Right.
to go after the other person.
You don't
Now,
have to be
here's a
faster
good-
than the animal. You have to be faster than the next guy.
Yeah.
Right. Here's
Yeah.
a good question
So
for you.
I would die.
Yeah.
Here's a good question for you. Carlos wants to know, isn't it possible Sasquatch only stays within the area or goes place to place?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't. So, if these creatures do exist, there has to be like a family unit for sure, and it doesn't have to be a large one. It could be maybe 10 of them. And I believe that the ones that we see could possibly be the teenagers. You know, just like humans, when we were teenagers, and you guys can all relate to this, we all like to sneak out of a house and go and have fun, right? You know,
Right.
our parents say stay close, and when they're not looking, we want to jump out the window, land on the neighbor's cat and kill it. But hey, you didn't hear that from me, okay? And then we want to go and sneak off and just have fun. So these creatures that we might be seeing that come close to us could be the teenagers, or they're ones that are kicked out of the clan and have to fend for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so who knows until we can actually, you know, get one to study. You know, everything that we say is he she, right? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So have you guys had experiences with Bigfoot?
I haven't. I'd love to get out more and do some exploring and actually look into studying a little bit more about Bigfoot. Never something that that I've ever did before. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it definitely sounds just the adventure itself. You know, that
Yeah.
would be the phenomenal part. So I don't know about the rest of you guys.
So
I've never experienced anything with Bigfoot. I mean, I've had experiences with animals and stuff, but that's about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I have not had any experiences with Bigfoot, but that would be fun in the future.
It would.
Yeah. About 10 years ago, I actually got hired because being a videographer and kind of crazy because I'll do anything. Like I'll film, I'll go out, I'll go hiking. I will not leave the person I'm with. But anyway, I got hired by a paranormal group who took me out into the field with them to
Okay.
do a paranormal investigation of this area, this house or this building that was known to be extremely haunted. And being a skeptic, they had me come with them because I had the infrared camera, I had the powerful microphones, and it was really cool. It was very interesting. I don't know how many times I've had something, you know, whisper to me, "Off," or "Go away," right? And you know, I learned really quick that there's one rule that you have to follow when you do paranormal investigations, and that is you can't whisper. You just can't whisper.
Right.
And you guys know why you can't whisper? Is because when you have an EVP recorder, a voice recorder, and you're trying to get a EVP on, if you whisper, when you are playing this back, like 2 nights later, you're going to get confused.
Mhm.
Think that whisper, which is your friend going, "Dude, I'm scared shitless," could be a ghost, or it could be a paranormal spirit.
Yeah.
It's very important, and that's what I learned is not to whisper,
So
because
it's a hard lesson
everybody
to learn.
seems to be like, "Did you hear that?" And then later on, when you're listening back, you're like, I'm like, oh my God, it just asked me if I'm listening to something. You know? So yeah, it was really neat. But yeah, I've had some real weird stuff. I've had things thrown at me from across the room and pitch black.
Wow.
Looking one way and then getting a spoon thrown at me from behind.
Really?
So being a skeptic, there's things that I can't explain how or what would have made this happen. But just like Sasquatch, I didn't physically see it, so I can't say 100%.
Right.
What it was.
Yeah.
It
Now,
could be a mouse in the corner.
in the paranormal field, whether you're studying Bigfoot, spirits and ghosts, UFOs, whatever it is, clarification, what do you call it? Always a second opinion on something. Maybe have somebody double check your work, see if they can find something or whatever. Matt, what do we call that? I forgot the term that we use.
Validation?
Validation. Thank you. Validation is key in the field.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's,
So, Jason,
having fun, that's all that matters.
So, Jason, I actually have a question for you.
Yes.
Now, in cryptozoology, it's very similar to the paranormal field, as in a lot of things are very theoretical.
Yeah.
So I had an interesting thought process. So if we are seeing all this evidence of Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, whatever you want to call them, these humanoid figures, obviously there is, like you said, a family hierarchy, adults, children, stuff like that. My question is, where are the carcasses? Because there's been years, hundreds of years worth of sightings, but we have yet to run across any type of a body.
Yeah.
So do you think, are they cannibalizing, or is it maybe are they burying? Have they picked that up from us?
That's the only thing I could think of is they bury it. I mean, it's not too far-fetched that maybe they eat their offspring. I know in my entire life, I've only come across 2 dead bears in the forest. One that just died at least a couple days because it was still intact and it was full. The other one must have been at least a week old, and they were still being eaten by the bugs and whatnot, and there was a kind of bit of the skull. But the other one must have died within 42 hours because it was completely intact. And I was with a bunch of friends, and one of the girls went off to use the washroom, and they come screaming back saying there's a bear. So obviously they're running away, and I'm running towards the area where they said they saw the bear. And then a bunch of my friends, we went, and here we are like 20 feet away looking at this bear that's lying there. And my friend's like, hey, is it dead? And I'm like, I don't know. And I go walking up and I kick it. I kick it. And I'm like, no, it's dead. And I turn around and my friends are now booking it down the mountain and left me, there. But I yelled, it's dead, guys. And they all stopped. And they're like, I had an argument with them. But for your question, it's a good question.
It's always been a thought.
But
they
bury them or they go, if one dies, maybe it carries it. They carry them to like the deepest places in the wilderness and buries them. I mean, it's a good question, and who knows the answer for sure? I mean, we can only assume. I mean, elephants, right? Will always go when elephants they know that they're dying. They will trek for hundreds of miles to go to one area where they'll lie down and die. So who knows? Like, it's a good question. I wish I knew the answer.
Could they be like interdimensional? Like sometimes they're here and sometimes they're somewhere else, kind of like aliens.
I mean, in chapter 2, I actually interviewed a lady who channeled this god being by the name of Pax, right? And this lady's quite famous. She has like 3 books. She's well known in the field for being a medium and being a channeler for this god being that she calls Pax. And I asked her to ask this god being what Sasquatches are. And she actually, so this Pax would channel through her and wouldn't talk, but would write words, and she would write books through this god being, and she would go into a trance, and within an hour or 2 hours, she's written a whole bunch of pages. And she told me that she asked on my behalf what Sasquatches were, and she wrote out like a couple pages of what Sasquatches were, and she said that Pax told her or wrote out that they were aliens from 1,000 years ago who came to Earth and kind of mated with some animals that made the Sasquatch.
Wow.
I'm not saying it as good as she said it. So if you want to go to chapter 2, Searching for Sasquatch, chapter 2, you can actually hear her. You can hear what she has to say. And by the way, you can actually find all my documentaries on Tubi TV and Cut.tv, which is free. You can watch it for free. It's a streaming platform.
I was going to actually ask you where we can find your movies, because for one, these movies sound amazing, and if anybody did have interest in finding Bigfoot or searching for Bigfoot, watching your documentaries could help.
It could. I mean, I do try and put a lot of humor into my documentaries, because let me tell you, when you're in the forest by yourself at night, it gets quite scary.
Oh yeah.
I kind of start joking and calm myself down. Right? Some people think I'm just making fun of the Bigfoot world, but I'm not. I'm kind of poking fun at myself. Right? So but yeah, I'll send you the link, and then you can post it.
Absolutely.
This podcast, and all your viewership can go watch it.
Absolutely. Now, for these movies, you have won several awards. Let's start with this one. This one is for Chapter 1, the Venus International Film Festival 2021.
And that was a shocker. Special jury award. I don't even know what that means. Jury award. I don't even, can everyone raise your hands if you like the movie? You do? Okay, give them an award. I don't even know. But if you look at the next one, the next one's quite cool too.
That one?
Yeah.
Or that one?
Yeah, that one's good too. It just says I'm a winner, which I always thought I was a winner anyway. But yeah, I was shocked that I was getting awards for my documentaries. Because it's me. I didn't think that I was, I'm humbled that I was able to get awards. It's pretty cool. I hope I get more awards in the future. I just got one of my documentaries on TV in Britain, but it wasn't Sasquatch, believe it or not. It was actually living with wolves in Canada. So I did a 25-minute documentary on living about a lady who lives with wolves in Saskatchewan. Wow. And I went there and I met her, interviewed her, and had her talk about her, the picture that you have of me with the Arctic wolves. That was one of hers. She has 5 of them. And
Buffy.
so I sent it to a film festival in Britain, and they liked it so much that they decided to put it on TV. So that's going to be sometime this week, which I'm excited. Hopefully I can stay up long enough to watch it myself.
Right.
Because we're on a different time zone. But
and we'll be able to catch this on Tubi as well?
No. Literally, I made the documentary and sent it to Britain to this film festival. And that was it. I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of put it together and then sent it to them. And I didn't think anything of it until I got an email saying, hey, we liked it a lot and we would like to interview you. They're going to interview me on talking about it. But yeah, so, wolves have fur, Sasquatch have fur. So, very similar. I actually interviewed a guy in Michigan who was camping and was walking back with his daughter, and they saw a Sasquatch running with a wolf running alongside the Sasquatch.
Oh wow!
It was running alongside, and then the Sasquatch turned and saw them, and basically booked it, and it was gone before the wolf was gone.
Oh
it
wow!
Outpaced the wolf. And the wolf was running alongside of it. So that was interesting.
Very.
And you can hear that interview on in Michigan in chapter 3, part 1. So
awesome. Mike wants to know, is Bigfoot a type of monkey?
Well, they do climb trees. Right? There's lots of people I've interviewed who said they've seen them in trees.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? I mean, these things are so strong that they can rip a giant tree out and throw it. I mean, it's easy enough for them just to climb up a tree and run, and swing away or like jump from tree to tree. I mean, who really looks up? Like when you're hiking through the forest, you're looking down to make sure you're not stepping on anything like a snake or a hole or something.
Yes.
Very seldom are we just walking like this. And this is, girl, what do you mean there's a cliff? So it's very, so for all you know, you're walking and the damn things are in the tree looking at you, ready to throw its poop at you. Okay, I made that up. Maybe they don't do that. Okay.
Now,
Jason, I have a pile of poop if that's the case.
I have a question, and this is more or less to make me feel better about something. A lot of people have like black silhouettes of Bigfoot in their yard, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that freaks out sometimes, thinking I spotted Bigfoot?
You mean like crossing someone's lawn? Like
walking by or driving by or whatever.
I don't know.
Self-cut out.
Have you guys seen it in someone's yard? I haven't seen it here in someone's yard, but
it's all over in Minnesota.
It's everywhere.
They have them here in PA.
They have cut out. They sell them.
Although
I guess if I'm driving at night, I would have fun with that though. Anyway, I'd put some glow in the dark eyes like right in the middle, or the little things that when your headlight catches it.
Actually, there's a guy in Pennsylvania who has one. He's got a couple, and him and his, I guess, neighbors, they have this nice little fun little joke. Every once in a while, they'll put this cardboard cutout or this whatever cutout of Bigfoot right along a tree line, so it kind of blends in. If you're not paying attention, it'll catch. Mm-hmm. And they've done stuff just like that. They will have it illuminated. They'll have different things all around. I've even seen googly eyes on it.
Yeah.
And what's really a pain in the butt is they'll actually move them from day to day, so it looks like it's standing at different spots. Yeah.
I can imagine. You find you just sit off to the side and just videotape all the people that stop.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure we're all hunters out here.
Yeah, so I can imagine how many times he had to replace it.
I'm sure there's trail cams right next to the highway.
Yeah.
More likely.
I would definitely.
Yeah. So, just, this is just, it's a big Bigfoot lore. I mean, I love speaking at some of these conferences. That's fun to get up there and just tell people my stories, and showing my films. It's always fun. Maybe I'll come out to where you guys are and do a film. Maybe we'll maybe we'll go out and do a paranormal investigation. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Bring it on, man. We'd love to have you.
I'll make a trip for that. Absolutely. We can go. Actually, you guys, we can make like a weekend of it. Do like a Friday night ghost hunt, and then a Saturday night we can go look for Sasquatch.
Well, I thought about, it would be really cool to do a whole bunch of different cryptids, like to do like like chapter 105, the paranormal investigation. Okay, maybe that's too far ahead, but like a chapter where I go with a group of paranormal investigators and go and do a documentary with them. Go to a very haunted location and bring out my infrared and my high-powered microphones, and go out and just do a proper documentation and just film the paranormal group as they do their thing, right?
Yes.
And to film me running away scared, screaming like a Sasquatch when it hits the fan.
Mark, you're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you?
Pretty much.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Here's a good question for you. Could Sasquatch be an early human species?
That could be a possibility. I mean, I would be more leaning towards a new species of human that hasn't been seen yet, or hasn't been properly investigated or had scientific research done on them. I mean, really, if you think about it, other than Bigfoot hunters and hunters and whatnot, who really goes into the forest at night? There's a small population of people that go into the forest at night, if you think about it. Where I live very close to Harrison Hot Springs. That is a extremely hot area for Sasquatch sightings and sounds. And I've interviewed First Nations people who literally have told their community, whatever you do not go out at night. You do not walk home at night. You do not go out at night. If you go out at night, even to take the trash out, you make sure you have someone with you. And because they believe that the Sasquatches will take you, right? And so, and I've been to this area to this community, into the backcountry there, looking and searching, and found lots. I keep finding these giant trees that are turned into exits, like huge, like 30 feet tall. One would be ripped out of the ground and carried and put down, and the other one would be just pushed over or knocked over, either snow load. But the one, and you could see where there's a hole in the ground where it was pushed over, or at least fell over either by snow. But the one that is carried, there is no hole. None. There's the roots, but there's no hole. It's just sitting there, and it's lying, and then there'll be another one on top. Yeah, I've come across so many. Like, it's great in different areas. Like in Michigan.
Are these the tree structure warnings I was going to ask you about?
Yeah, like the researchers I was hanging out with, they actually said that they believe that these are basically do not go beyond this point. Like these teachers are telling you, don't go beyond this spot. This is our territory,
Or it could be them telling their own kind not to go past that.
What's that?
It could be them telling their own kind not to go past
Yeah, that too. That's also the other. So what I did, being that, I'm just a normal person, I decided to tie a tree hammock from one tree to the next underneath the X at night. And then
I would so do that.
I slept under there in the middle of the night, I had something walk up and literally grunt in my ear.
Wow.
To the point where I started shaking uncontrollable because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. To the point where I'm thinking, God, if this is a bear or maybe a wild pig or maybe if it is a Sasquatch, if I pissed it off, it just, hits me and drags me off. Heck, I'm already wrapped up, so all I had to do is just start eating. I'm already a burrito.
Jeez.
Right?
Oh, gosh.
I mean,
Right? So,
technically,
Burrito.
by hanging that hammock there, you're not going beyond the point. So
no, but I did pee, like, on it.
Oh.
If it's watching, then it's really just, I was just, yeah, that was interesting. So I filmed all that, and it was kind of cool. And right before this happened, a few hours prior, there was a smell that was like rotting fish, like it was something that was so disgusting, and we could smell it. We were looking around to see what could have made it, but yeah, it's hard. These creatures, they kind of know how to get around us without us seeing them. But I have a trick. I have something I'm going to invent that I'm almost guaranteed that if something walks up to me, I'm going to be able to capture it on film, or at least see it. I've been thinking about it, so I'm going to build it, and I don't want to say what it is because I want to be the first to try it, but I guarantee you it's going to work. If something walks up on me, I'm going to be able to see what it is, and if it's a bear, it's going to be a bear. If it's a deer, that's cool, and or it could be that maniac following me that's naked, just in the forest.
Brandon.
Kind of like a 3D camera.
No, I'm gonna have to build it. I'm not that technical. I can't build a 3D. I could just buy a 360-degree camera, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build something so if the Sasquatch walks up on me, I'm going to be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kind of trick it into, and it hasn't been done yet, so I haven't heard of anyone doing this. So
absolutely.
Are you still a skeptic then?
Well, until I can 100% see it, like I want the damn thing to walk up and slap me in the face before I can believe in it 100%.
Careful what you wish for.
I want
You want to have your
I
pants.
want a daytime sighting. That's what I want.
Okay.
But maybe what I need. So I was out with the Sasquatchers. Do you know who they are? The Sasquatchers? They're a female group of Sasquatch hunters, and they go out and they go searching, and they're cool. They use remote viewing to search for Sasquatch.
Oh wow!
They've come very close to finding them, actually, and they're just a hoot to hang out with. Like, these girls are like the best. They're like the funniest. If you ever hear of the Sasquatches being in your area, you just contact them, because they would love to hang out with you guys, and they would just they're just so much fun. And you never know, you might actually be able to capture. And I imagine they could probably do the same thing with paranormal investigating too, doing remote viewing, right?
Right.
Oh.
You thinking what I'm thinking, Cara? Well, Jason, I have a final question for you, and then we'll let our other hunters get their questions out, and then I have a invite to something if you're down for it. First of all, in your opinion, do you think that 100% legit proof that Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or anything is going to be unraveled?
Eventually. It's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen. Eventually. I mean, us humans are getting smarter and smarter, right? Where, there's more and more of us going into the forest, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're getting smarter, but Matt there, I don't know if we can say the same about him.
I'm not even going to argue that one.
But you never know. I mean, eventually it's gonna happen.
Eventually, and I agree with you on that. For one, I think it would be phenomenal, and getting our team out there and looking for clues and evidence that Sasquatch is a thing would be a good addition to our team for one. So, Jason, before we get our other hunters to ask you their final questions here, I have an invite to something for you. Matt brought it to my attention. July 1st, we have a big event going on in West Virginia. And we'll be visiting a very special battlefield type place. And I think if you wanted to hang out, come enjoy it with us, we'd love to hang out and get to know you, meet you, whatever. So invites out there, man, if you want to come and hang out.
Yeah, I would love to. That sounds like a lot of fun. If you can email me some more of the information,
absolutely,
to talk to you more just later on to see where I'm at.
Absolutely,
July, right? Because I have another Bigfoot group which have hired me to come out. We're going to go on an expedition for 2 weeks to go out looking for Bigfoot in the forest. We're going to be traveling in some of the states. So who knows? July, there's nothing that I know of at the moment, but
awesome.
I'm going to keep that open.
Heck yeah. And I'll actually let Mr. Matt promote the or propose the other event to you.
Oh, sure. Why not? No.
It is your event, sir.
You're right. So, Jason, in late September 26th and 27th, I am actually hosting what we're calling Pair Unity Day. Now, cryptozoology in the paranormal field, we work pretty much side by side, but we also wanted to involve, the cryptozoology side and yourself. So if you're interested, here in central Pennsylvania, we're going to be going on the September 26th to the fairgrounds local to me, and we're all going to meet up, hang out, just basically network. Just a big hangout day where we all get to meet face to face. And then on the 27th, the very next day, we're going to Gettysburg. Now, obviously, I don't have to say anything more about Gettysburg. Very haunted, a lot of activity, and I know it's on a lot of people's bucket list. So we want to actually invite you to come out if you are wanting to. And obviously, the invite is open to everyone. So if you know anybody that might be interested as well.
He's lying. No one else can go. Just me. Okay, no one else.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the only one that shows up.
You just be standing there like, okay.
I'm just gonna show up by myself.
There's like 50 ghosts around you going, we're gonna kill him. Okay, we're gonna haunt him tonight by himself.
We just got done with the USS North Carolina, and I'm sure there's a couple on there that weren't too thrilled with me.
Oh boy, I don't doubt that one bit.
California boy.
That sounds like fun too. I definitely be open to coming there and meeting all you guys. That would be nice. You especially. I think that would be great. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, so any other questions you guys would like to ask?
Well, I do want everybody, while we're here, to enjoy this beautiful picture that Jason has emailed to me. Take in this picture. This is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's gorgeous.
That is beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's in my backyard. Really.
Really?
Yeah. I can get to that. Well, I can get to that spot within 4 hours. Hiking in, of course.
Wow.
Driving to the trailhead is only maybe 25 minutes.
Wow.
And then I just hike in. But I mean, if you guys like animals, I have a web series called My Animal Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you can find all my animal adventures on my YouTube channel. It's A Photo Warrior, all one word.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go there and you can look at all these. I have so many different animal videos out there, including, I think I have a couple paranormal videos that I've thrown in there. That
awesome.
That I decided.
And if you want to email me whatever links, we will get those promoted out
Yeah.
We will promote to no end, and we will make sure that we spread it as far as we can. So just email me whatever you got, and we'll get it out there for
Yeah,
you.
that would be great if everybody was to share
Yes.
the Tubi TV link to my Sasquatches. I hope you guys all really enjoy my Sasquatch adventures. You know, if you like my silly humor in the documentaries, you know.
I mean, we've already gotten 55 minutes, and how many laughs have we had? You know, so you are absolutely one of
I know.
our.
I saw Nicole pass out for a second. I'm like, Nicole, wake up!
No, Jason, I do want to invite you to come back to the Minnesota Spiritcast again. You know, we are currently scheduling for season 3, and we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I'd love
So, reach out to Kara. Kara can get you scheduled, and we would love to have you back on the show.
Well, you know, my 5th Bigfoot documentary comes out in just a few weeks, maybe. I'm thinking close to June. I'm going to launch it, so maybe I can come on and promote it. Maybe what I can do is maybe I can send you guys a copy. You can look at it, and then we can talk about it.
Yes,
You guys
Yeah.
will
I
be
like
the
that.
first people to see it.
I
And
like
we can
that.
all talk about it, as long as you don't show it to everyone.
Right.
Right, until I can get it on Tubi TV, because I'll be on Tubi TV, which is pretty exciting. I think I'm on like 5 or 6, maybe 7 different streaming platforms, including
Nice.
Amazon. I think Amazon has it, but I think you can only buy it on Amazon. Like on there, you can rent it or buy it.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm sure it's totally worth it, Jason. Anybody who has interest in any of this, you know, cryptid, paranormal, anything, would be crazy not to purchase that, because it sounds amazing to watch. So I know I will be.
yeah. Hey, thanks, guys. Well, you know, I'm so happy that you guys had me on, and I can't wait to meet you guys all in person.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, and it is, you know, who knows what's going to happen in the future.
Exactly.
Maybe you'll be watching the news and an animal photographer has been lost in the wilderness. Witnesses say he was grabbed by a giant bear walking on 2 legs. Never know. You never know.
Oh, we got a hater on Matt right here. He can't stand Matt.
Look at your subscriber count.
You ain't the one
If you
for me.
ain't Army, you ain't the one for me.
See, jealousy is so ugly, isn't it, guys?
Mm-hmm. All right. Any of my hunters, do you guys have any questions at all for Jason?
I had
Go
one.
ahead. Go ahead.
So I was looking at different things, and I came across the cave that they found with the remains of giants.
Yep.
And cave drawings and all that stuff. Do you think that that has any relation to Bigfoot?
There's a possibility that it does. I mean, if you look at a lot of cave drawings, they all seem to have, like, all the First Nations people all over North America, but all over the world, even into Mexico. In Costa Rica, they have like art on the walls of some giant hairy creature, right? Which possibly could be Bigfoot, right? But who knows until we can actually study one, right? But you do know, like just last year, there was a new species of monkey that was found, right?
Wow.
So who knows, right? Like a new species of monkey was found in 2021.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're finding new species all the time,
Mhm.
Wow.
right? So who knows what's going to happen? But thank
Anything
you.
is possible.
You know, you guys are awesome, and
Yep,
I'm
thank you.
sad I have
Back
to
at
let
you,
you guys
man.
go, and I will definitely be in touch with you guys.
Yes.
Thank
And,
you
Please.
so much.
I'll see you guys later.
See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Well, guys, what'd you think? Absolutely amazing guest.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
really interested.
Gonna check out Tubi.
We can do a part 2.
Funny story, guys. I watched Tubi quite a bit and never once saw his movies on there. Guess what I'm searching for tonight?
I'm gonna
Bigfoot.
do the documentaries and search.
Mm-hmm. So, no, it was absolutely amazing meeting Jason. Kara asked if she could throw Jason in as a bonus for season 2. I'm like, yeah, go right ahead. He's sounding like a very interesting guy. He is very comedic, guys. He's awesome. I love Jason.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to meet him in person. Matt, we really got a hater for you here, man. Look at this. Almost 2,000 subs.
Look up iSpook. Austin does, but iSpook doesn't.
Oh boy. No, you guys were absolutely awesome. You guys had some awesome questions. What do you guys think about throwing this type of research into our field?
I think we should do it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well,
And who better to get help from than Jason himself? Because he's had, what do you say, 25 years of experience in this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just getting him in on adventures, getting him to our Pair Unity Day and all this it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a true gift to the hunters and everybody else. So you guys,
I'm totally down to go look for Harry and the Hendersons.
I'm game.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I'm game too. Let's do it. Well, do you guys have any announcements that you guys want to throw out to our viewers right now?
No.
Okay. Well,
Keep watching our shows.
That's a good announcement.
Right?
We've got more great people coming soon.
Yes, we have a lot of amazing people coming soon. Tomorrow night, you can catch us at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern with Rob Guttrell. He is a pet medium and paranormal author. We've talked about his books on the show before, but tomorrow we get the scoop on a brand new book that hasn't been released yet. So we are the first to be hearing anything about this book. And then if you are in the Arizona area, he will be in Tombstone, Arizona at the end of May. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow with Rob himself. So catch us tomorrow, and beyond tomorrow we have some phenomenal guests. Season 3 of MNSpiritCast is underway of being scheduled. So Cara, I see you have a question there.
I was just going to say May 3rd, I think, is coming up fast for John Yost's Alien Abduction.
Mm-hmm.
That will be coming out really soon, so keep an eye out for that.
Yes, so we will continue to promote Alien Abduction Answers trailer throughout from now until May 3rd. This seems like a close to heart movie for John. An experience he's been through and helping everybody else kind of see into what he's dealt with in the past, and kind of throw some answers out there of how to cope with whatever you're dealing with in that field. So May 3rd, it's coming up quick. Also, I want to remind everybody that right now, Minnesota Spirit Hunters has a swag bag giveaway going on right now. Yes, so why don't we let Cara go ahead and tell you about it, because it is her drawing.
So there's a post on the page. If you go on and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, share to 3 friends, and then go back and comment down, you can get an entry into winning a swag bag. I'm going to be putting in a Minnesota Spirit Hunters beanie. You'll get a bumper sticker, and I forgot what else did I put on there.
A water bottle.
Oh, yeah, and a water bottle.
Yes, so link is you can find the link on my personal page, Cara's personal page, and also all over Minnesota Spirit Hunters and everything. So if you want some cool equipment to get your collection started of Minnesota Spirit Hunters, now is the time, because all you have to do is a few simple steps, and winner will be chosen on April 30th at noon. So go ahead, enter, find the post, do what it says, and you could be entered, or you could be drawn to be the winner to get your collection of our merchandise started. So Cara, thank you for starting up that. That's a lot of fun and rewarding for the team and everybody else. So everybody who's here with us, Nicole, Rochelle, Brandon, Matt, Cara, thank you guys for coming on. Absolutely amazing show, and I can't wait to have him back on again.
Sure.
Well, I can't wait for Saturday.
Same. Yes. Oh, actually,
Rain.
right. Thank you for that, Brandon. This Saturday, we are filming the very first episode of season 2 of Minnesota Spirit Hunters. The hunt is continuing, so don't go anywhere, because season 2, episode 1 starts very soon. So it's being investigated this weekend. So that's going to be a lot of fun to get back out, investigate some more, and big plans are coming up of out-of-state investigations and everything. So you guys are not going to want to miss what we have coming up. So, but for now, all of my hunters, I will see you guys tomorrow night when we have Rob Guttrow on himself. I'm super excited to hear all about his brand new book.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay, well,
Bye.
I hope
Yeah.
you guys all have a good night. Thanks for coming on and for being a phenomenal team.
Wait, everybody, wait. Marcus's phone didn't go dead this time.
Oh.
Oh, Marcus.
Wait. It did last night. Him and I were talking. He did hang up on me.
Joke's on you. I'm on my laptop, buddy.
So he charged
That
your
died
laptop.
last time too.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Anyway, since you guys want to rip on me, we're going to go ahead and end it.
Go ahead and end the show.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure as always. Just me and you now, buddy.
Yep.
Well, as always, Brandon, you're an amazing co-host. Thank you for hosting the show with me. And Jason, man, he's an awesome guest. And meeting him in person is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be awesome. So thank you for helping me host the show. I had a lot of fun.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow night for our next episode.
See you later. Everybody else is watching. See you later.
Later. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this amazing show episode of Minnesota SpiritCast. It's been absolutely phenomenal getting to know Jason, and we can't wait to meet him in person, get him back on here, watch a little bit more about his upcoming chapter of Searching for Sasquatch. So lots of love to everybody. I see some new faces in the comments here. Can you message me when you go live tomorrow? I can't watch you streaming. Absolutely. Yes, I can definitely do that, Austin. As long as you promise to keep ripping on Matt in the comments, you can watch any show, brother. Any show. Just got to rip on Matt while the show's going on. So, you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Saw some new faces here, and thank you. And I absolutely appreciate every bit of it, as well as the rest of my team does. So, until tomorrow night, hope you guys have a good night. Happy hunting.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.